What's up, big dogs? Welcome to Defeat the Monster Within. I'm a guy named Fuzz. Probably already know this. If you don't, well then, welcome aboard. This video is going to be a little different. I've done something similar to this before, and it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to try it again. I was going to do a whiteboard presentation with the whole thing, but I decided this is the whiteboard presentation today. Is this the yin yang? Yin and yang. Okay, so I got that, and then I have my notes here. So I got a few pages of shit here I wanted to go over. Because I had a long-winded talk with my daughter. And, well, my daughter and my son. I was having a talk with the kids, and I was explaining the yin and the yang, and what the yin-yang means. It seems like a simple idea that should be easy to explain, and in a way it is. But when you fully understand the gravity of that idea, it will radically change the way that you live your life. There's this common idea, at least here in America, of God and the devil. Right? There's God and there's the devil. And I even sort of embody that ideology in a way with I talk about God a lot, and then I talk about the monster. It's almost the same thing, right? So it gives us this skewed misperception of what is really going on. It can be difficult to really grasp the reality of what the yin-yang idea means, right? So I'll kind of just go through my bullet points here. But everything that there is exists inside of the yin-yang. Okay? That's the simple explanation. That seems like it should be simple, and it is, but it doesn't really give you a good understanding of what that means. Everything. Every single thing. So we're talking the good and the bad. Okay? There's nothing that exists outside of the yin-yang. So this picture I've showed you is inaccurate, because I had my daughter do this, by the way, and she did a great job, and she wrote the words, but the concept I'm explaining, there's nothing outside of the yin-yang. It's not like there's a yin-yang and then there's dots out here of stuff. There's nothing that exists outside the yin-yang. So that, I know that seems like I'm just saying the same thing and beating a dead horse here, but you got to really start to wrap your head around what that means. Okay, so that means all of the terrible things in the world that there are, and all of the good things and the beautiful things, all come from the same source energy. So this idea of God and the devil being separate is inaccurate, because God and the devil are part of the same source energy. They are the yin and yang to the same source. It's not yin is over here and yang is over there and they're separate. They exist as one source energy. So I don't know if you've ever seen a torus, and I'm not talking a torus like not like what your birthday is, like the torus that's like a ball of energy. It's kind of shaped like a donut. And it's like a positive side on one side and a negative side on the other side. And it's this energy field. And every single human being has this energy field surrounding them. The earth has the same energy field surrounding it. So we are all a part of this same source energy of this, and with the duality of the good and the bad exists as one thing, which is really tough to understand. Like, it seems like they're so separate. Like it's this, the good and the bad are separate things, the positive and the negative, but they exist as one unit. So that means that it's all part of the same thing, right? So the gift that we've been given is that we have the ability to choose. We can choose which part of the yin-yang we want to live in. And most people just by happenstance just live kind of in the middle of the yin-yang. Their life kind of goes up and down. That's how I was for a long, long time. I spent a long time, probably more in the dark half. The point is, when you just let your life happen, just by default, you're going to end up kind of existing within this middle area of the yin-yang where good and bad things both happen. Kind of ebb and flow, right? But we have the ability to choose which part of the yin-yang we want to live in. And obviously, we would love to live in the joyous, the beauty, the essence of good, right? It's what I call getting close to God. That's how I refer to it, is walking with God, being with God and getting close to God. That's living on the strong side of the positive part of that energy field. So you might be wondering how you do this. How do you live in any part of the yin-yang you want? So I'm going to read this word for word off my notes because I think this is important. You need to ignore anything outside of your control that you don't like. Let's say that again. You need to ignore anything outside of your control that you don't like. If it's outside of your control, then there's nothing you can fucking do about it. That's that. That's how it's going to go. Okay? And if you don't like it, then you just fucking ignore it. That's it. I know it sounds almost too simple. Okay? If it's outside of your control, you need to only focus on things that you think are cool, beautiful, that inspire you, or it's something that you admire, or something that leaves you in awe. If it's outside of your control, why would you bother focusing on any of this other stuff that sucks? Why would you bother focusing on stuff that sucks that there's nothing you can do about? That's wasting your energy, and that's putting you in a bad state of being that's not allowing you to step into the vortex of possibility and get caught in that upward spiral. So the things that are within your control should be the only things that you're really caring a whole lot about, unless you're admiring something beautiful, or you think it's amazing, or you think it's special. Then go ahead and focus on things outside of your control. But other than that, you shouldn't be focused on anything outside of your control. Only things that you have control over are things you should be putting your energy towards. So, what kind of things that are within your control should you be putting your energy towards in order to live in this part of the yin-yang and to move onto the upper echelon, to become the person that God intended you to become? How? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to focus on gratitude, but not just gratitude, okay? So this is something I'm really passionate about, and I don't feel like I ever can quite get my point across with what I'm saying. But the point, you can't just be grateful for the things that you think you're grateful for. Oh, I have a house. I have a car. I have a job. I have beautiful, healthy kids. Oh, things to be grateful for. The trick is to be grateful for the bad stuff also, because it also exists within the yin-yang. It exists inside of the same source energy. So the same God that you love is the same entity as the devil that you hate. So you can't hate one part and love the other part. That doesn't mesh. It doesn't work. It goes against the natural laws of how this shit works. So naturally, if you're hating one side and loving the other side, you will get caught in this stuck in the middle. You're stuck. You get stuck right in the middle. This middle of this yin-yang. That's where people get caught. Because you have to love both sides. You have to love it all. And the next thing you should focus on is to focus on loving yourself for who you are. And appreciate the journey that you're on. Because you might not be where you're at, or you might not be where you want to go, and you might have had a lot of shitty fucking things happen. But you can't let that kind of shit stop you from reaching your goal, reaching your end result. becoming the person that you were intended to become. It's all part of your journey that's going to lead you there. So the good and the bad included, all together. It all needs to be appreciated. And you need to love yourself because you are part of this. You're part of this same source energy. So if you want to love God, you can't do that without loving yourself because you're part of God. And then what you need to do is you need to believe. You need to fully, wholeheartedly believe that God has a plan for you. That God has a plan to make your life beautiful, and it will unfold in ways you wouldn't expect. Because that's what is happening to me in a beautiful way. And I'm trying to express this to you so that you can allow this to happen for yourself. Because it happens in the strangest of ways, and it's when you can appreciate that you can't predict how it's going to happen, and you just have faith that it will. That's when life starts to unfold in a beautiful way. So with that being said, you also have to understand that the duality of this yin and yang and good and bad, it's in everything, right? So there's up, down, there's hot, cold, man, woman, night, day. Everything has its polar opposite. Once you start to realize how this duality is built into everything, literally everything that there is and everything that happens has this element of this duality of yin and yang just inherently within it. Especially interactions. The interactions are really where this stuff, you will see it begin to manifest in the world around you. And when you start to notice this duality manifesting in the world around you, it opens your eyes to this beautiful dance of the ebb and flow and the meshing of the good and the bad and the big and the small, and how it all fits just so perfectly into the one essence, the one source energy, the yin-yang. And I think that that's an important message. I think it's important for you to really understand this and really take it with you into your life. And when you can start to appreciate the bad with the good and see the beauty in the duality, it will radically change not only the way that you see the world, but it will change the way you feel. It will change everything for you. And you will that's when you can allow yourself to get caught in the vortex and get into the upward spiral where you're just spinning up and up and up. Instead of we're spinning out of control, spinning down and down, we get caught and we spin up and up and up. So if there's anything I could leave you with, it's gratitude. Be grateful for all of it. For every bit. The good and the bad. Every moment. Because every one of those moments was special and is special and will be special forever. I love you guys. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, ask me a question, send me a message. I'm here for you. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.